from Just Lush Nails. Sorry it's been a while, but I've decided today to make a little short video, and I've decided because I'm already started to file off the colour of my poly gel, I thought what a perfect opportunity to show you guys how you file off colour of poly gel and then infill and reapply. So let's get started with this, and hopefully these will help you guys understand the removal of colour from this poly gel product, which is amazing. See you in a minute. So here we go. Now first of all, just before I start, I just want to run through the products that I've got here that I'm going to need to use. So I'm going to use today an E-file with a 180 grit sanding band. The other options are a 150 grit to buff off the colour, obviously, because that's the only sort of grit that you would use, because you wouldn't do that on a natural nail, so it's okay to go over the top of a poly gel. So if you haven't got an E-file and you're not trained in E-file, I would always suggest that you use hand file and perfect your hand filing before you move on to E-filing. So today I'm going to show you, just because I've already done two, as you can see, and I've put gloss on and I've overlaid the colour with poly gel. So I thought, well, let's show you how I do it. So what I'm going to use is the poly gel light pink, and I've got slip solution, which I've already put into my dab and dish, and I like to use the Gelish Harmony 7 square gel brush to move my poly gel. So let's go. I'm going to show you the basics of how this works. Okay, here we go. So I always have this set actually on a very low speed. You don't need to have this on a great big high speed, because what that would do is cause burning because of the friction. So start off low, and again, I can't emphasize enough that you do have to have a lot of practice using E-files, because potentially damage can be done if you're not comfortable using this product. So I'm going to show you, it's very gentle. I take my time just so that I ensure that I'm literally only taking off. So where we go, you run it down around the cuticle, and in a minute you'll see the poly gel. It's always best to go long ways down, because if you go sideways over, you can end up kicking back around. Use all the edge. It's not always easy to do it on yourself, to be fair, but if you do it gently, you can now see the shine's gone. You tickle it round, and in a minute you'll just see. Keep moving so that you're not going to cause friction, heat, and it's quite good because suddenly you see the colour disappear. Like I say, I like to take my time. I don't like to go in at it with lots of pressure down, just in case. And it'll come. There it comes now. I say this is only a medium sanding band, so that it's gentle. There we go. You can start to see the poly gel appear, and you know that's only poly gel. But as soon as you see it come, you work along to the next bit. Don't go over that bit now, because you've obviously done that. So you work your way around, and it's not easy on yourself, so I'm trying my best here to make it not look like I'm really cack-handed. Well, I'm left-handed, so I suppose that does look cack-handed. And then you just pick up where you want, and you tickle round your edge. And all these side bits, tickle round. You can see that it's very gentle. Very gentle. Tickle round. tickle round. I might have to kind of contort myself into funny areas this way. Excuse me for looking. You can see what I'm trying to achieve though. And the idea is to make it as gentle as possible. Okay, so there we go. So there we go. What's happened, as you can see, I've filed off the colour. You've got a couple of bits around the edge. I usually have my fan on, which is vital, I think, for when people are filing. Let me just brush that down into the... I haven't put the fan on because you won't be able to hear what I'm saying, but I'll brush it down into the fan. So you can see what I've done there, and it's done. All you got to do now, if you want to use a higher grit just to pick off the edges, round you go, and you can see still got the... Just pick round the edges. And that's gone. Then you can use a harmony buffer, 100, 180. You can use the 100 side because obviously you're still only buffing off the poly gel to smooth it over. And that's that. I've just used some surface cleanse. And that's good. Good to go. So, oh, I know what I didn't bring to my desk. I wonder whether my lovely husband, who is doing the camera work, would pass me the Pro Bond and pH, please. And the pH, which is an orange pot. Yep. So I've prepped, surface cleansed. Thank you. See, he's marvellous, isn't he? Okay, surface cleansed. Now I'm going to just, in that bit there wasn't much regrowth to be honest, so I just make sure that there's no oils. I'm using the back to the natural pH, and then Harmony suggests that you again Pro Bond the entire nail, so that goes underneath and all into that part where you're going to add some more poly gel. Okay, so we're nearly there. It's very exciting. So then we use we've got the light pink. I like this just because it's, you need a little piece because you're only infilling. So then you roll it on. Use your little dapping dish for your slip solution. You don't need much of this. You'll see why I like this brush, because it's just so beautifully flat and it's so accurate. So all we do here, get your ball of poly gel, press it into 45 degrees into the cuticle, into, not onto. So there we go. Now round to the side walls. Don't attach it to your cuticle. So you can see now I've pushed that up to the cuticle, not onto. So then we get a bit more of the slip. And then we gently, like it's a pull brush, but you're pulling, 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 pulling. And as soon as you start feeling that product move, they'll stick to the brush, put some slip on. So keep pulling, pulling up. You're not actually needing to give this any thickness at the top now, because we really didn't take much of that off, but you also have to just make sure you create your arch and your apex, which obviously gives that part of your nail the extra strength if you're going to have a little bit of length of nail. So look at the sides. And now you're all done over. So when you look there, you can see that it's a nice smooth arch and apex is secure. So that's done. Check that everything is away from the cuticle. I like to just run round my brush, and for finishing off I like to wet it and do a good sweep up. This smooths everything out and reduces dramatically the amount of filing that's necessary once you've finished. Okay, so as you can see, that's an infill. I'm going to put it in here, my LED lamp, for 30 seconds. So once that's gone beep, I will show you what you do after that, and then you'll be ready to add your colour again. It is a very, very straightforward, and I like it in the fact that we're not actually using acetone, and obviously acetone and soaking off is a good thing if it's done properly and safely. It's a lovely, but it obviously is drying. But using the poly gel, there we go, using the poly gel, it never needs to come off the natural nail plate. There we go, so that's cured. So the best plan is always take off stacky layer, or you end up, your files get a bit clogged. But as you can see, I can use a 150 grit again, because obviously I'm only filing the poly gel, not my natural nail. You can see that as long as you go round your cuticle to keep, there's nothing worse than seeing sort of nail enhancements where they kind of high here in the cuticle. It's really nice to make sure that the cuticle area of any enhancement is really smooth and low. It's the important part is here for the strength. So I'm done, really. I'm going to use a 100 file to smooth off. You always can look down the side, look at it down the barrel as I call it, to check that everything is smooth. And then we prep it, first surface cleanse. And that's done. And that nail then is ready for you to choose either, as I've done here, I've just put gloss, or you can put any colour. So I hope you enjoyed that and showed you the sort of simplicity. But again, I must emphasise, e-filing isn't for somebody that's not confident with their natural filing techniques. So that's all really I can show you today. Obviously I've been trained with the poly gel as well. I'm a poly gel technician. Any questions, or what do you think about the product? I'd love to hear about it, because I think poly gel is absolute game changer in the salon, and you guys can tell me what you think too. Speak to you soon. Cheers, bye. Oh, also you guys as well, just to add, if you look at my other videos that I've done, and you'll see an application of poly gel, and I've done some quick tip applications, which are different sort of systems completely. If you like what we do, like and subscribe, and I will at some point try and think of another thing, or if somebody else thinks of something that you'd quite like me to give a go, let me know in the comments below, and we will try my best to put that out on video for you. Thanks for watching. Lots of love. Like and subscribe.